Well, hello there. It's been such a long minute. I hope you're well. I've missed you so much. Welcome to yet another episode of the Peace of Mind KE podcast. I am your host, Wangari, and let's just make ourselves comfortable as we get into this discussion of today.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too.
So, in today's episode, we're going to look at how to stop auditioning for support roles in other people's lives. When I say this is actually one of the things that I personally I have struggled with, and I don't know if I'm still struggling with it because I'm super content with that, where I'm at, but I know it was one of my major problems that I've had in the longest time, especially growing up and trying to find like friendships and relationships that are somehow beneficial in my growth. And what is that, like, what is auditioning for someone's support role in their life compared to focusing on your own? This is when you're looking for like new relationships, new partnerships. It can be relationships, it can be business, it can be acquaintances. Like, as long as it's just bringing one and another person together, that's a relationship. Today we'll be focusing on reasons why we audition for someone else's role, or how much we are so pressured on trying to be the best version of ourselves for other people and trying to prove to them how valuable we are to them instead of embracing that for our own selves. So, me being one of the culprits, being one of the people who've gone through this, I thought this would be the best way for me to explain and express how I was able to get over it on my own. So the reason why we actually do it's very weird. Okay, it's not weird, but it's kind of sad because you need to be your number one biggest fan. You need to be you need to be the one who's leading to show people how to love you, respect you, to treat you, because you are your number one friend before anyone else outside of you. So anyway, the reasons why we do it is to fit in. Oh my goodness. Kwanza yo pachako fit in. In high school, I had the toughest time because I came from a family where, everyone is just like focusing on their own like selves and focusing on their own goals and everything. So going to a school and seeing all these new faces, people I've never interacted with, people with different personalities, with different like needs and all that, kind of threw me off, to be honest, because I was like, what the hell is going on? Where are we? What are we doing? So anyway, for me to be able to make these kinds of friendship with these new people, I felt like I had to fit in. So I had to do things that they're doing, speak the way they're speaking, go to places they're going to, enjoy the interests that they're interested in, only to fit in. But why? I was just literally dumbing myself down. Ndo ni fit in. Mbona ni fit in? Kwa lazima ni fit in? Like, hata msini bojo your story. Like, right now, to be honest, I'd go back in the past and I'd just like smack my face a bit. I even just pinch myself a bit. I'd pinch myself a bit because it's like, you're so valuable, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you deserve literally everything. You don't need anyone outside you to tell you your worth or show you what. You don't need external forces or energies to tell you what it is that you really like. So yeah. Oh, also, excuse me, I'm recording this video when kids are playing. I just like, schools are zinafunguliwa next week, so bear with me when you hear kids playing and screaming. Just be a nice auntie and be compassionate, or a nice uncle and be compassionate. But then before I move any further, I the rains have been super super crazy. It's been heavy. People have been swept away, cars have been swept away, houses have been flooded, rivers are breaking their banks. And I just hope from wherever you're watching this, you're safe and your family is safe, your loved ones are safe. And if they're not, just be kind enough to stretch a hand and just ensure that they get the help and the assistance that they need. Don't be selfish, because that's how one do I need. And also pray for them, and just as long as you're in a position to help, I'd advise you to help, and that would be super super appreciative. And I want you guys to know that you're not alone, you're all in this together. Yeah. Another reason why we try to force audition for other people's supportive roles in their lives is because we're trying to please others. We're doing this because we want them to like us. We want them to want us. We want them to see us as, people who are making sense and who are deserving of their attention or their sense of validation, which we don't. I repeat, we don't. I repeat, I don't. I don't need anyone else's validation outside God's validation and my own validation. Maybe my parents in a little bit, like some few things here and there, but to be honest, the only validation that you need is your own and your creators. Like God's validation is what I mean. The third reason why we do this is because we're doing this to hide. Why are we hiding? Why are you trying to hide your personality, your vibrancy, your sense of self from the rest of the world? You just want to jump along and, go on a bandwagon and ride along someone else's like personality, someone else's qualities and interests and everything else, instead of embracing your own and cultivating it, nurturing it and cultivating it, and wanting it to get to the grandiose level that you've always wanted to be. So stop hiding. Hiding is not good for you. Don't do that to yourself. And the last reason why we do this, why we audition for other people's supportive roles in their lives, is because we want to use them. Why do we want what? Why? Like why? Why? This is so sad because considering our world today, how our world operates, how everything is going about, using someone is like the most disrespectful thing you can ever possibly do. Because what? You can't even just get on your own grind and just focus on your own self and just set your mind and be intentional about what you want. You have to use someone to get to where you want. Like you wanted that, but you have no reason or no worry of trying to exploit someone else just to get to where you're going, or step on someone else just to get to where you're going. Tulia. But tunajua nini? Malipo ni hapa hapa duniani. Okay, those are just some of the main reasons why we get to audition for other people's supportive roles in their lives instead of focusing on our own. So I came to see. Okay, my guys, the way these kids are screaming and playing, I didn't go to see. You just give me 2 minutes. I record this video quickly, and then you can continue playing. Anyway, so the final reason when we do this, when we get to audition for other people's work, is because we're trying to pretend. We're trying to pretend. Why are you trying to pretend? You're not proud of yourself. You're not proud of your sense of being. You're not proud of your body. You're not proud of your face. You're not proud of anything. Like, you're not proud of yourself at all. Like, I feel like most of the time the reasons why we're trying to pretend is because we're trying to get away from something. We're trying to run away from ourselves, or we're trying to please others or fool others into thinking we're something that we're not. And I feel like it usually takes so much more energy to pretend and try and do all those creepy things that you normally do when you're trying to please people. So don't do it. It's not fun. You're going to regret it. You won't like it for yourself, and you'll always be like, why did I do this to myself? Like, why, like, mbona, why and when we do this. When, the keyword is when. The timing is also quite interesting, because most of the times when you're trying to audition for someone else's supportive role in their lives, you'll always end up doing it because you're lonely. You're doing it because you're fear of missing out. You're afraid of missing out on whatever it is that's happening. I don't know what that could be. The other reason could be because you don't know yourself. You've never even sat with yourself. You don't know what you like, how you like it. You don't know the places you'd want to go. You've never even sat and gotten to discover yourself as an individual and just figure out, like, wait a minute, like, what do I actually like? Like, napenda nini, So that is another reason why the times when we get to seek out these supportive role positions in other people's lives. Ways that this habit affects, like, the people that we love or the people that we want to get into these kinds of relationships with. They don't trust you. They lack trust. They don't trust you because they're like, are you the person that you say you are? Or are you trying to pretend so that I think that you're this person? Or are you in it because you like me? There's so many reasons why someone would want to get associated with you, and also getting to learn the reasons why is quite important, because somehow it forms a foundation or a base for your sense of friendship. So what are the reasons? Like, why are you getting into this relationship? The other person that you're trying to get into a relationship will notice this, and they will feel like they lack trust in you. They'll be like, they can't trust you. They don't know which side of you they're interacting with, because you keep on shifting. You're not the same person you usually are when you're all by yourself. So it's kind of confusing. Another thing is that they get bored. They get bored so much because of to, like, here we go again, another act, another show, and scene. So it's like they know how it's like I don't know, it's like a song. You know how it sounds, the rhythms, the climax, the tune and everything, the hook and everything. So it's so predictable. So similar to someone who's trying to audition for a support role in your life, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to do the same thing, say the same thing, act the same way, only to try and win you over. And it's kind of boring because you don't get the authentic emotions out of that person. You're not getting the raw emotions, the raw aftermath of, like, interacting with them. So that's one of the other reasons why watakuwa tu like, you know what, you're actually very boring. Unabo. Another reason is that they end up feeling used, because they're like, why then? Why are you trying so hard to fit into my life? Like, mbona unanitaka hivi, ama unataka kuwa kwa maisha yangu hivi, hadi inaanza kukuwa suspicious, because you're not showing them the value that you're bringing them to them, ama you're not letting them discover it, like, at their own pace, at their own time. It's like you're love bombing, you're shoving it in their face. You're like, I'm this amazing, I'm this trustworthy, I'm this fun, I'm this, and I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And they're like, okay, cool. Words and actions have two different meanings. You can say you're one thing, but your actions really do define. I'ma show us who the real you is. So ensure that your thoughts, your mind and your body are aligned, so that you don't have to feel like you're pretending. But this comes into play when you know yourself. When you get to know yourself, you know what you like, you know what the things that turn you off, you know the kinds of friendships that you want, the kind of business partners that you're looking for, because you're aware of this. So when you're offered, like, an array of options or something, like, you won't have a hard time getting to pick, because you already know what it is you want, instead of going there like blindsided and you're like, oh, I like this one, oh no, I also like this one, no, wait, I actually like this one, oh no, stop, I don't like that one, but I like this other thing. Like, girl, boy, get over yourself and get yourself together. Let not these people see you sleeping. Not like sleeping kulala, like sliding, sleeping. Quickly, some of the ways that you can use to recognize these tendencies of someone trying to audition for a support role in your life. I'm saying this because I was one of those people. So I'm going to show you some of the ways I used initially when I didn't have a sense of social intelligence and emotional intelligence. These are the things that I used to do so that I can be able to like reel you in and make you be my friend and everything. So first of all, you overstretch yourself. You overstretch yourself, you overdo yourself. You get to do things that normally, like for instance, let's say you might be working or you're in school or whatever, and then a friend hits you up and she's like, oh my god, hey, what's up? So I'm in need of this and this, and I was really hoping you could help me with it. And maybe what it is that they're requesting for is exactly what, yes, you do have, but you also need it. But because the validation, the perception of you really matters, you end up giving it to them, leaving yourself high and dry without nothing to fall back on, because you're trying to prove a point by helping them. So I don't really think it's helping when you're doing it to get validation. Help comes from a pure place. It comes from a place where it's like, you know what, I'm giving this to you, and if you're not gonna give it back to me, I understand. Like, I'm not gonna like be in your face and be like, because you're helping. When you're helping, you're giving without having any expectation of it coming back to you or expecting any sense of reward. Another way how to recognize these people, another way, overcompensating. Why? Like, why do you need to do that? Like, how choky? Like, it's so exhausting overcompensating because you're giving more of yourself, more of even some that you don't even have. It's so difficult pouring from an empty cup. So if you're empty and you're trying to pour into other people's vessels, what are you going to pour in and what are you going to be left with? So it's going to be super, super frustrating for yourself and for also the other person that you're trying to serve, because they'll feel like at the end of the day, I owe you, I owe this much to you because you did this for me. Even if it was like out of a pure heart, they'll end up not receiving it with the intention you had, like with the intention of being helped or just receiving that goodness. They'll just be skeptical about it because they're like, mbona una overdo? So relax. Stop overdoing. Why are you overdoing? Another thing that for you to recognize that you've been auditioning for other people's supportive roles in their lives, you get emotionally drained. You're emotionally drained, obviously, because you're dealing with your own issues and you're still like taking on other people's issues just because you're trying to fit in and being known by them and just like be this person that technically know that's not it. So mbona una force issues? Wacha kuforce issues, because ina affect emotionally, ina affect the way you do your things, it's affecting your thought processes. It's literally affecting your whole sense of being. So why would you want to put yourself through that? Why don't you just take time and know yourself and give grace and space to the ones who like actually mean well to you, and they'll give you the effort that you intend on giving back to them in this relationship, instead of selling yourself short just because you're desperate, just because you're in need, just because you're lonely, just because you're sad or whatever. Let not your emotions be the determinant of the reasons why you get to make this logical reasoning decisions, because to be honest, the two don't go well together. You can feel a certain type of way, but you might not act on it. So that's why I'm saying you really need to be intentional and consciously aware of the effects of your emotions on your body and your thought processes. Finally, another way to recognize that you've been doing this, you're overwhelmed because you're trying to balance 10 things at the same time, and 60% of the things that you're trying to balance are not even yours, 40% is, and it's incomplete. So why are you trying to struggle to do all this for other people, yet you have something to do for yourself that's not even done yet, guy? Like, you're trying to do something for someone when your own project, your own thing that's going on is not done yet. Like, kuwa serious bro, kuwa serious, jipende hata kadi kidogo. It's a process, by the way. Loving yourself is a process. You don't get to love yourself just until one day when I'm like, you know what, today I love myself. It's a process, it's an action. Because at the end of the day, love is not a feeling, love is an action, because you get to express and to do the things that you do because you love someone, not because you tell them. You'd be like, oh, I love you. I would buy you a house and a car, and I'd buy you the whole world. I'd take you to the moon and back. 2 minutes later unampata akiambia the same thing to someone else. In fact, your message ama your voice note ame copy paste akasend to many. Guys, me, I'm afraid of relationships. I'm afraid of relationships and what they have turned out to be, because where, honestly. Anyway, now that we've talked about ways we can be able to recognize auditioning for other people's support roles in their lives, ways to prevent it. Now I'm going to finally come to a conclusion with ways of preventing it. Ndo tuweze avoid these issues for ourselves and also get to avoid it to not come into our spaces, because we are getting better at who we are. We're working on ourselves, we're loving on ourselves, we're valuing ourselves. So if it's not serving that, please, the door. The door, okay? The door. How to prevent it? How to prevent you auditioning for all these things? Number one, the first thing, self-acceptance. I will not even emphasize this anymore, because self-acceptance is key to everything. Literally everything, from your life, from your business to your personal life to your relationship to your everything. Everything stems out from the kind of self-acceptance you've given yourself. If you love yourself and you value yourself, trust me, you'll make the best decisions. You'll make decisions that are beneficial to you. Self-acceptance is a crucial key factor in this. Key factor in literally everything. So kila kitu, self-acceptance, number one. The second thing is you should show yourself compassion. How often do we show ourselves compassion? How often? Like, maybe when we are asked to show ourselves compassion, we will consider it. But whenever we miss a deadline, or we make a mistake, or something happens and you don't get to accomplish the goal that you had in mind, do you know how hard we usually are on ourselves? You'd be like, oh, you didn't do this, you're not thinking straight, you're not worth it, you're not smart, you're not this, you're not that, you're not that, you're not that. Why beat yourself up? Like, you're only just a human trying to figure out what we're doing in this thing called life. Like, tunafanya nini? So because all of us are trying to figure that out, even people in their 60s are still doing the same thing. You should show yourself some grace and some love and some compassion. Allow yourself to learn, grow, and evolve, because there's no point in time it's going to get to a limit and you're like, you know what, I'm fully grown, I'm done, I know everything, peace. Like, it doesn't work like that. Knowing your worth, showing yourself compassion, two key essential things for you to be able to avoid you trying to find validation from other people's lives and other people's, like, what they think and how they see things, right? So the third thing is know where you end and someone else's begin. So know your limits, know your boundaries, know your emotional capacity. Just get to know yourself and know, like, how far can I go? Like, how far do I stretch? If it's like, for instance, if it's personal space, I remember in primary school, this is what we're showing you. Like, you stretch out your hand, you see the space you have between your palm, the palm of your hand, and the rest of your body, all this, including your feet and everything, this space here, like all 360, this is your personal space. This is where you end. This is where everyone else's begin. So if anyone passes this space over here, they're inside your personal space, and you should not let them. Don't allow them, okay? You've learned something new today. So treasure your boundaries and your personal space, and know that you're worth it. This space is only meant for special people who relate with you, who understand you, who are there for your own good, and they don't mean well. These are people who make sense to you. This is a very private and personal space. Yeah. So the last thing for you to be able to prevent all this conundrum and all this drama is to be intentional. Be intentional with who you are, what you want, where you're going, why are you going, when will you go. Like, these are the questions you need to be intentional about, because once you're able to predetermine the things that you want and the place that you want to go to, it somehow narrows down the qualities, and now you're able to be left with the people, places, and things that suit the characteristics that you have stated for yourself, for them to even be qualified to enter your life. Okay, so you need to be very intentional with all these things that I just stated. That brings us to the end of another episode, guys. We are moving so fast. Squeeze the time in a fly. Time in a fly. Maji in a flow. Watu hawabo. Oh my god. Okay, so. Anyway, it was so nice. I hope you enjoyed this amazing video. If you have any other comments on ways to avoid or ways to know someone is trying to fit into your life and they're trying to audition for your support role and they're not revealing themselves to you in an authentic way, these are just some ways you can use to try and decipher them, their actions and their thoughts and their words and everything. And if you have any other more points that you'd like us to look at or you'd like us to share, please don't be afraid to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. I am your host, Diversified Wangari, and this is the Peace of Mind KE. Until the next time, peace.